bicycle stand. All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. It's what we love about you. Guys, today we have some different types of stories to go. We're going to go mainstream right down the old pike here. What everyone's kind of talking about got to appease the algorithm, and that is Steelers Aaron Rodgers. Quote, pretty sure this will be his final season. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers is pretty sure 2025 season will be his final NFL season. This coming to us from ESPN.com. Yeah, it looks like it came out yesterday. Yeah, yesterday afternoon. We will peruse and discuss. And then something a little bit kind of close to my heart, as well as tied into the Aaron Rodgers thing. CNN, look, yesterday, obviously, I done screwed the pooch and tried to read an article behind a paywall, not realizing what I was doing. So we're going to keep it all mainstream as can be. Going to walk on over to CNN.com. That's right. We here at the Hat and Beard Show to show how open-minded we are to all media outlets. We will be reading CNN, but this is an interesting article. On the brink of retirement, this NFL player turned to psychedelics to help with his OCD. Psychedelics, something that is near and dear to my heart, as well as the reason being why he had to turn to psychedelics. Also near and dear to my heart, something that I think we all will be able to appreciate. And then finally, we'll be kicking it local, finishing the week strong on a little local news story coming from us from SI.com Lions on SI. 2 veteran free agents the Lions should consider signing. Could the Lions add 1 or 2 available high-profile free agents? This coming to us from Christian Boer. There's a little teaser as to who that one of them could be. But look here, guys. We do have a little poll here up for you. If you haven't already, would you kindly subscribe to the channel? Ring that notification bell so that you can be notified every time we go live Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here at youtube.com/The Hat and Beard Show. We are the largest, fastest growing NFL and Lions content creation station in the 10 a.m. block, exclusively streaming from Grandma Studio One. So that's thanks to guys like you, y'all hanging out every morning, tuning in, showing up. I genuinely appreciate it. And what you can do to continue to help us grow is you can go ahead and go over to that share button and share this video around with all your friends. Now, look, I completely understand in today's well-manicured social media profile presence, you don't necessarily want Nana knowing that you are a fan of the Hat and Beard Show. I mean, we do tend to say some pretty outlandish things here. So what you can do is you can go ahead and fool the robot overlords. You can fool the algorithm by just copying the link to the show. Just copy it down on your clipboard. The algorithm treats it like a share, and you don't have to offend your friends and family by admitting your fandom for the Hat and Beard Show. And then finally, while you're at the share button, look, it costs you nothing if you could just go ahead and assault the like button, hit it with the old 2-piece and a biscuit while you're rooting around in the bathtub there doing all the other stuff. We do have a poll up for you guys right now. There's a 6 of you in the chat. I really appreciate that. You guys are rocking and rolling this morning. 5 votes. We got 1 like equals 1 fist pump for USA. Now, there are a couple of options for you to pick here from. I did give you 3 choices. None of them are really wrong. One of them, look, if you pick one of them, you're probably, I don't know what you're really doing here, but your options are of, proud American, baby. Let's go. 60% of you coming in hot and heavy with the proud American, baby. Then the other option, and this is kind of the oddball one. I don't know why anybody would pick this, but you'd like to self-deport, which kind of is like, you know what? If you don't like it so much, why don't you just get out? You know what I'm saying? And then finally, just as a, why not end the week on a little, haha. AOC has a MAGA-sized chest coming in with 40% of the vote. So, in case you didn't know, AOC, that would be the representative, Congress lady from the great state of New York. And as you can see here, she has, although she is a absolute socialist retard, she does have a huge set of tits on her. So she does have some MAGA-sized titties. And if you really want to know, this is my guy Alex Stein, Primetime Stein, pimp on a blimp. Check this out. This is how we feel about
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress.
Yeah.
You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
I want you to do a little selfie.
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks. Look very sexy.
Like right here,
Look,
where he says she wants to kill babies.
Latina, I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
And shout out AOC being open-minded.
I want you to do a little selfie.
On AOC, that's my.
See that dork boy right there? Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, she's engaged to a ginger boy. So in case you're wondering what that option was, AOC has a MAGA-sized chest. So let's go. We will get into it here. Morning, everybody. How we doing? AOC gained wine weight. Well, that's what happens when you're a champagne socialist, Sam. She started from the bottom. Now she's got that sweet, somehow when you work in government as a public servant, boy, you make an awful lot of money. And imagine how much more money she would make if she was open APAC. Let's get into the show, guys.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
All right, fellas. She does have a peanut brain. Brent DeWitt, you are correct. So that's what we're looking at. Looks like Aaron Diddly-Do Rodgers is saying this is going to be his final season. Now, will he follow in the footsteps of Brett I send dick pics to trainers Favre and in a heroic effort and as his final hurrah, lead the Pittsburgh Steelers out of the purgatory of mediocrity that they have been just dwelling in for the past umpteen number of years. Unfortunately, they still have winning seasons under Mike Tomlin, but just not quite able to get over the hump, especially with the big boys in the AFC. They can't quite contend with divisional rivals, Baltimore. Cincinnati gives them hell. And then they are grossly outmatched by the two heavyweights in the AFC, and that being Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. And the Kansas City Chiefs. But, maybe he helps him get over the hump here. Maybe DK negative percent body fat helps Aaron Diddly-Do Rodgers out and gives him, maybe he does the whole, just storybook ending. League MVP, even though Aiden Hutchinson's going to win the league MVP with 69 sacks. Offensive player of the year, even though Jared Goff's probably going to win offensive player of the year when he throws for 100,000 yards, 200 touchdowns. And look, I don't know if you guys seen it. We've had some Chicago Bears fans rolling up into my Monday video where we talked about Osama Ben Johnson and his what to expect in his fixing of Caleb Williams. And some guys are saying that Jared Goff. Now, look, I'm just going to say it. I got tired of typing these out, but I'm just going to say it right here. I'm now changing my speculation for Jared Goff's numbers. Not only will Jared Goff throw for 100,000 yards this year, he's also going to throw for 500 touchdowns. And he's going to technically have negative interceptions because not only would Jared Goff throw 0 interceptions all year, but in a weird trolling move, Jared Goff will be deployed on defense twice this season against the Chicago Bears in spot roles where he will come in as a third rotationary safety and have 3 interceptions in both games, returning 1 to the house in each game. So that's 6 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. Okay, so Jared Goff then also is in the contention for Defensive Player of the Year, second only to Aiden Hutchinson, right? And he throws for a league-high 100,000 yards. That's what's going to happen. And with those 6 interceptions that Jared Goff is going to have against the Chicago Bears and Osama Ben Johnson's nonsensical offense that he's trying to implement with DeAndre Swift, again, that didn't go anywhere the first time, Jared Goff will actually throw for -6 INTs this year. So that's what's going to happen. I just wanted to clarify that with all the Chicago Bears fans that have been out here fiddle farting around in my comment section. I mean, good on the Chicago fans, but I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. You hired the next Matt Patricia. Hey, Chase, what's up? Oh, you meant, yeah, dude, Mount Rushmore of Aaron Rodgers. Dude, that meme you sent me yesterday, dude. I don't have. All right, so I don't have my Facebook stuff linked to my laptop. I should. I'll pull it up on Monday. Chase sent me this hilarious meme that was the Mount Rushmore of NFL quarterbacks, and I agreed with every single one except for what the fuck was Aaron Rodgers? Now I get it. He's won back-to-back MVPs. Like the problem with Aaron Rodgers is that the numbers look really good. You know what I'm saying? Like the car looks good. It's just the engine on the inside that is a turd sandwich. You know what I'm saying? He's just a fucking goof. Aaron Rodgers is just a goof. I'll be real. I was like rah Aaron Rodgers when he was like one of the big outspoken Fauci poke guys. Against that, I was like, yeah, go get him, bro. Even though he's still a Packer, but I was like, yeah, you go get him. And then he's just like when he was like considering running with RFK, I was just like, fuck it, why not? Why not? It's just for the lulz, you know what I'm saying? So, now that we shit the bed for the last 10 minutes, so over here at ESPN.com, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers pretty sure that the 2025 season will be his final. In an interview with the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, Rodgers said he's likely concluding his career that spanned more than 2 decades with his final year in the Steel City. He's pretty sure this is it. Rodgers spent 18 years of his career in Green Bay, where he was a 4-time NFL MVP. If we're going to call assholes and elbows, that's a 4-time NFL MVP. It's nothing to shake a dick at. You know what I'm saying? It's not bad. It fucking sucks that he was in our division. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. The Steelers didn't want to put extra years on that or anything. So this is really about finishing with a lot of love and fun for a place and peace for the career that I've had. So this is he's having a hippie season. He's just hippieing his way on out there. It's all about love, man. It's all about love and peace in one of the most violent games. So go get him, sunshine. Sunshine. Go get him. He played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run. He's enjoyed it. No better place to finish than the one of the cornerstone franchises in the NFL, Mike Tomlin, and a great group of leadership. I bet he wish he could finish in the Packers, though. Rodgers, 41, is the Packers franchise leader in touchdown passes, completion percentage, passer rating, and ranks second behind only Brett Favre in passing yards and completions. Okay, so Favre's still king in Green Bay. That's not bad. After a prolonged decision-making process where he pondered retirement, Rodgers signed a 1-year, $13.65 million deal. He should have signed for a $13.69 million deal just for the lulz. Before reporting to mandatory minicamp this month, Rodgers elected to sign with the Steelers after being released by the New York Jets following a tumultuous 2-year stint. He tore his Achilles just a handful of snaps, 4 snaps, into the 2023 season, and then went 5-12 and missed the playoffs in 2024. Now, to be honest, you can't put the Achilles tear on him. That's not necessarily his fault. Now, maybe. Hang on one second. My light keeps timing out. I don't know what's going on with that. It keeps happening. But Aaron Rodgers, can't blame the Achilles tear on him. And then last year, it wasn't great. And there is the locker room shit that he's done. Not really being, a huge distraction, but he's still a distraction, forcing the franchise to bring in guys that he wanted to bring in that ultimately resulted in 5 wins under his tenure as the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. You probably could have gotten another year out of him in New York, but circumstances last year, the regime change going on, Aaron Glenn needing to build for the future. I think Aaron Glenn knows that if he was going to invest in a quarterback, he had to go after one of the younger starting caliber quarterbacks. Justin Fields, I say, is like the 34th, 35th best quarterback in the league. You know what I mean? Not a guy you want to build your franchise around, but a guy that you can limp through a season or two until you're able to find your guy via the draft, via free agency, something like that. A guy who can get you a handful of wins And maybe Aaron Glenn knows something that we don't know and is able to fix Justin fart around fields. You know what I'm saying? The Jets will host the Steelers in Week 1 showdown on September 7th. Rodgers will face Green Bay for the first time this season in Week 8 on Sunday Night Football. That'll be a fun game to watch. Rodgers' decision to play one more year, though, wasn't dictated by a desire to go out with a better ending, he said. It's not really like I can go out like this. I love the game. There's been a beautiful relationship. It was my first love when I was 6 years old, dreaming about playing quarterback and being in the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. I wanted to be there for minicamp once I decided I was going to be all in. Okay, there you go. So it is a little bit of, I want to do the whole thing and then get out. You know what I'm saying? So he wants, not many veterans would be in minicamp, especially 41-year-old veterans. And, the fact he's like, no, I want the whole enchilada. You know what I'm saying? He wants the whole enchilada. He's going to do diddly-do around at minicamp. So, maybe he's serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give the Steelers everything I got and empty the tank and be super comfortable and satisfied with whatever happens. You go ahead and empty that tank. Just don't do it like Justin Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Don't empty that tank. You know what I'm saying? For Rodgers, the draw of playing in Pittsburgh started with Tomlin. Rodgers said the two talked weekly while he was deciding on his future, and Tomlin's patience and respect for Rodgers' process endeared him to the coaches. Rodgers said he also attended a cookout at Tomlin's house the weekend after signing his contract. I wonder what they had. I wonder what kind of a cookout it was. Do you think they grilled, or do you think it was catered? Do you think Mike Tomlin is the type of cat that goes out there and, like, him and his old lady, like, put the full spread on, like, they do all the work? I feel like Mike Tomlin is that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, very, I bet you if Mike Tomlin ran a catering business, that dude would be I bet if Mike Tomlin committed himself to being a restaurateur or a chef, he would be the biggest celebrity chef. He would make, what's that English quack? Oh, I can see his name. I know his name. Gordon Ramsay. He'd make Gordon Ramsay look like a punk bitch with his absolute perfection and attention to detail, as well as his marketability. You know what I'm saying? He could be the elite level of Gordon Ramsay with the marketability of Guy Fieri. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Rodgers said he felt great in 2024 after his Achilles felt incredible. McAfee also said Rodgers fit in Tuesday's interview between two of his daily workouts. And Rodgers added that some of his teammates are planning to travel to Malibu, California for a workout session next week. I bet you that was a hard sell to get old DK Metcalf to want to. You want to come to my rich mansion in Malibu, California right now, just quickly before we start the season? Oh, please. Oh, sell me harder. That's like the other day. I was talking to my coworker, and we were like, if something just happened and someone, smashed my truck, it's like, oh no, I gotta go truck shopping. Shucks, damn it. I hate truck shopping. You're going to make me have to go buy a new truck. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me I got to stop. You're going to make me stop at the gun store on the way home. My two least favorite things. In addition to talking about his upcoming season, Rodgers expressed frustration about the public interest in his private life. He revealed during minicamp that he was wearing a wedding ring and that he got married a couple months earlier. He didn't disclose his wife's identity and emphasized to McAfee he wanted to keep his private life out of the public eye. Oh, yes, that's right. He did get married. And I'm so stupid. I was reading his wife's name. All right, so she spells it not like the traditional way of spelling Brittany. And I was calling her Brittiani. I kept reading it Brittiani. I got home that night and hadn't moved. She's like, oh, babe. It's just Brittany. It's not Brittiani. And I kept reading it. Brittiani. Like she's some type of Italian. No, definitely not. It's a sick society. I lived in a public eye for 20 years. I had a public. Oh, who cares? Oh, boo-hoo, Aaron Rodgers. My private life is my private life, and it's gonna stay that way. And when I'm with someone who wants a private life, and it's what they want out of the picture, she'll choose that. Okay, cool. So Aaron Rodgers wants to be, just leave us alone. Just leave us alone! Just leave us alone! Oh, man. Let's see if we can pull that up. I need a Jamie to pull that up. Yeah. All right. So here you go. Fucking.
It's the worldwide privacy tour. Come on. We want privacy. We want privacy. It's the worldwide privacy tour.
That's Aaron Rodgers right now. We want privacy. We want privacy. While going on a national television show. We want privacy. All right. Now that we got that article out, let's check the old Polaruski. Hey, we got 7 votes. That's what's up. That's what's up. You guys are pulling strong with 9 people. Why? Something's wrong with my light. Something's going on with it. We might just have to bail on the light. Man, if that light goes out again, we're bailing on it today. You guys can just look at my shadows. All right, so 7 votes down in the old Polaruski here. 1 like equals 1 fist pump for USA. 71% of you proud Americans, baby. Let's go. 29% of you saying, oh, AOC's got a MAGA-sized chest. All right, let's go, you know. Look, all I'm saying, if she just decided to stop being crazy and wanted to get out of politics, I'd be really happy. You thought I was going to take that a different way, didn't you? Nope. Nope. So before we get into this CNN, look, I'm talking about AOC today. Oh, thank you, Sam. You like this shirt, dude? I appreciate this, dude. Me and Hat and Boobs used to, we used to be big Steven Crowder fans. I mean, we still are. We just watch other stuff now. And she got me this shirt because this was on his merch store, as well as yesterday I was wearing the Fight Like Hell shirt. You see me sometimes using the Louder with Crowder mug from Mug Club. I got this from crowdershop.com. Hey, Carrie. Good morning, Carrie. How you guys doing? All right, let's get in. All right, we're abandoning the light, fellas. We're abandoning it. We gotta just the bulkheads did not hold. We smashed into the iceberg. We're just abandoning the light. We're just giving up on her. On the brink of retirement. This is from CNN. If you guys haven't read it already or haven't subscribed already, would you mind doing all that stuff? I don't have it in me to do the whole call to action right now, fellas. On the brink of retirement, this NFL player turned to his psychedelics to help with his OCD. Turning into a liberal, talking about AOC, reading CNN. While NFL players were in the trenches of a grueling season, Braden Smith was fighting a different battle, the one going on inside his own mind. In the middle of what was meant to be a playoff contending season for the Indianapolis Colts, Smith instead was consumed with thoughts about his faith. What started out as a formative step in his religious journey quickly became an all-encompassing struggle. But he wasn't just coming to terms with his faith, he was also learning about his obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. In particular, Smith was dealing with religious I can do this. I can do this. You can do this. Scrupulosity. There. Which is a form of obsessive-compulsive disorder characterized by excessive worry and anxiety about moral or religious issues. Individuals with I can do this. With scrupulosity experience intrusive thoughts, often about sin or violating religious or moral rules, and engaging in repetitive behavior or mental acts, compulsions, to alleviate the distress caused by these thoughts. Interesting. Overly concerned with violations of religious moral doctrine. As he dove into learning about everything he could about his faith, Smith found difficulties equating his own past and daily actions with what he was reading in the scripture. Quote, I was having a court case in my mind all the time, pleading myself to the jury because my mind all the time would be like, God can hear your thoughts, Smith told CNN. It came to a head last season when it all became too much. The OCD had taken the joy out of football for Smith, so much so that he was suffering, quote, mental breakdowns before games and becoming distracted on the field. He told his wife, Courtney, that he was going to retire as a result of his OCD, which, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Clinton News Network. You guys are funny. Chinese News Network. Oh, you guys are funny. Look, I didn't want to read it. It's just the article was interesting, all right? I like psychedelics. Shame on me. I like to change my state of mind. All I'm saying is that certain psychedelics are really awesome. And if you are mentally capable, go ahead and try them out. Some of them are pretty awesome. Okay? Discussion with Courtney led Smith to check himself into a medical facility for treatment, where he spent 48 days and was formally diagnosed with OCD. After limited improvement, Smith was told brain surgery was an option. Wow, that escalated quickly. But he instead opted to try psychedelic drugs, ibogaine, and 5-MeO-DMT for relief. Ooh. Never played with ibogaine, but look. All I'm saying is that DMT, dimethyltryptamine, that'll fix a lot of stuff for you. That'll solve a lot of issues upstairs for quite a while. In my experience, look, it was like a mental reset. It just like cleansed everything. I'm not going to go into the full experience of it. You guys have heard it all before. It is pretty cliche. Yes, there was the breaking through of a floor, a ceiling, a shell of some kind, an emergence into this plane of existence where there was all of this like joy and excitement. You know what I'm saying? And then there was this just, I don't want to say like a being or whatever, but it was like something that had all of the information in the universe, and I was given access to it, and it but instead of like being able to like pick it up and like this is the knowledge of everything, it was just like dumped upon me in this like overly like cool sensation of like a waterfall, right? But the only things that I was able to retain were things that I could like consume from the waterfall, but instead of being able to drink deeply from the waterfall, it's like I was given a coffee stir to try and drink as the water came crashing down upon me, and it just like I wasn't able to get all, you know what I mean? Like there was too much, so there's only little bits I was able to get and retain. But I tell you what, when I came out of the DMT trip, it was like everything that had ever bothered me in my life up until that point seemed insignificant, and anything that was going to bother me in the future seemed irrelevant. I had realized, at least at the time, that me and my existence were nothing merely more than a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a grain of sand, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a singular grain of sand on an infinitely long beach. You know what I'm saying? So things just didn't really bother me so much. Now, over the multiple years of not being able to, I don't want to say regularly, but frequently sounds weird, but at times be able to utilize this tool. Obviously, my frustration levels have grown significantly over the years. There are other ways to remedy it. I do advocate for psilocybin, though personally, for me, shrooms are like fun. They take you right up to the edge, like right up to the edge. I like to jump off the edge, which is where LSD comes into effect. Now, the problem with LSD is getting good LSD, getting high quality LSD, and not getting shit that's like really fucked up. But if you can get good LSD, that shit will it's a good it's a good time. It's a good time if you have the right headspace for it. You know what I'm saying? We're all just dust in the wind. Hell yeah, you guys. That's what's up, guys. All right, I appreciate that, guys. I'm glad you guys aren't all like butthurt about me talking about psychedelics. Ibogaine and DMT are bad substances in the U.S., but not in the NFL's prohibited substances list, so Smith traveled to Mexico to have them administered. Together with the drugs and therapy, Smith turned a corner, and having returned to the U.S., plans to continue his football career despite being able to continue using the psychedelics at home. While the 29-year-old said that he's in a much better place than a year ago, he's still on a, quote, ongoing journey with his OCD and religious you can do this. You can do this! Scrupulosity. Scrupulosity. I'm still dealing with OCD. I have obstacles to conquer each and every day. It's part of my life. I can't run or hide from it, and I can't fight it either, per se, because the more I fight, the more that I play into its hands and just having to accept it for what it is. The OCD always wants you to do more and more. That's something that's been preached my whole life, is doing more. But at this point, I almost have to do less. I have to rest more on it. I have the rest of my life and that grace versus trying to do more, trying to fight my OCD. And that's something that, while reading that paragraph right there, I kind of started to realize I bet you there is a higher percentage of athletes who are more susceptible to obsessive compulsive disorders than, say, I don't want to say every man, but like myself, like just an average schlub. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to live their lives on such a strict, high routine lifestyle that when they deviate from it, it's easy to. Some people might say it's superstitious. You know what I mean? Superstitious and OCD. What is there really much difference between the two? And then, of course, with that line right there, he wanted to fight. It always wants you to do more and more and more, and that's something that's been preached his whole life. Something that all athletes push more, give me more, one more rep, go a little bit harder, push yourself more and more and more. So they're already a little bit more predisposed to allowing these intrusive actions to kind of dominate their lives again with the superstitious mentality. I, for one, am very superstitious, and I'm not saying I'm a world-class athlete, but I did play sports my whole life growing up. And even to this day, certain actions, certain things I have to do a certain way. Like game days, things have to happen a certain way. Certain clothes have to be worn a certain way. It's all a certain thing for me because I'm not superstitious, but in the words of the great Michael Scott, I am a little stitious. You know what I'm saying? It was screaming. In hindsight, Smith said he's long had OCD tendencies. He remembers eating 36 chewy sweets. He remembers eating 36 chewy sweets in one sitting as a child because no matter the number he got to, it wasn't the right number. Unsurprisingly, he was sick. As a result, that's why he plays offensive line right there. That was the day that turned him from a defensive end into an offensive lineman. He also recalls having to wash his hands a certain number of times and worrying a curse would be put on him if he was to anger anyone. And his obsessions went on another level when he began his journey into faith in earnest last year. Previously, Smith describes not living his faith, quote, all the way, taking it in, quote, bits and pieces in 2024. Though his life began to revolve around it, in his mind, his OCD took that journey in the most literal sense. Especially when you hear a verse like, loving God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. I took that literally, Smith explained. Every thought I have has to be perfect, and in order to do things the right way, my mind was telling me that all things I needed to avoid. And so naturally, it starts off as a single thought, and then it starts multiplying all these bad thoughts you're not supposed to have. Boy, do I get that. I call it the cascading shit spiral of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? When the shit hawks are flying and then just more shithawks, and you just get a perfect shitstorm, Randers. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a cascading pile-on of this just downward spiral of shithawk thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Smith remembers starting with an initial feeling of guilt about his previous sins and what his mind deemed to be sinful thoughts. His brain twisted his faith into thinking he was a, quote, devil worshiper, and that he was selling his soul in his quest for perfection. Sounds like you should just get baptized, son. Why don't you just go ahead and get baptized? Huh? Why don't you do that? As he explored his own journey into religion, he found a fixation with conducting himself the way literally written in Scripture, that he now understands it's impossible for a regular person striving to be perfection, only exacerbated the sins and guilt. That's something my old man used to say. He's like, there's only one perfect person, and he ain't here no more. They crucified his ass. You know what I'm saying? There was one perfect person, and they crucified his ass over being perfect. I've messed up the first 28 years of my life. Now I need 28 more years to make up for the last 28 so I can be even with God, Smith remembers thinking. Boy, I know that. I've had that thought, dude. While it started with a few obsessions, the tidal wave of thoughts grew over time. Smith resorted to compulsive prayer in attempting to reason with the obsessions as a way of bringing about a respite to his struggles. No matter how many times he would reason with himself, and in doing so God, it would come back even stronger. Quote, you can't quiet it, you can't silence it. But last year was that time the voice was the predominant voice. It was screaming. I was in the corner, couldn't get a word out because every time I got a word out, my OCD would just scream and put a million different things in your face all the time. Now, real quick, what are you feeling so guilty about there, young man? How many bodies are in your freezer? You're feeling this guilty. What's in your walls there, son? Why does your house smell like bleach all the time? You go through an awful lot of Sawzall blades. Is that type of stuff you're saying you're guilty about? Or are you just like having a mental spiral here? Coping, while Smith was going through his journey, it was having a detrimental effect on his personal and professional life. In March of 2024, 2 months after his son was born, his wife Courtney remembers noticing Smith was driving headfirst into his faith. She recalls Smith doing Bible studies at their kitchen table and reading the book over and over. He's reading the Bible over and over. He's a speedy reader. A fucking fast reader if he's reading the Bible over and over in March of 2024. If you're reading the Bible over and over again in 1 month, you are a fucking fast reader. Or you're not reading the right book, dude. He's reading the Cliff Notes. He's reading the Cliff Notes, just like, I don't understand. It was only when she noticed her husband couldn't get past his past. How many bodies do you have in your past freezer? That she realized something was up. She described noting it was more extreme than what he had previously experienced. They remember blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, also known as the unforgivable sin, as a particular stumbling block for Smith due to his unspecified nature of the sin. Smith wasn't able to listen to conversations with his wife about the role of faith filling the gaps in Christian scripture, at times even questioning her faith. So he just went bananas. And then one day Courtney recalled, why don't you just go ahead and build yourself a tower and just go live on top of the tower. There you go. And then one day Courtney recalls Smith coming home one day and saying he has a you can do this. You can read this. You're a big boy and you can read. Scrupulosity, whatever the fuck it is. At first, Courtney thought he was being dramatic because she says that herself had variations of the thoughts he was expressing during their own journey with faith. This is a long fucking article. Wow. Okay, we're not reading all this. His past 18 months have grown reckoning and realization. His journey is not complete, he said, but he has a much stronger position to be able to cope with the challenges thrown his way and continue his faith journey. And for those who might be in a similar position, Smith stresses the importance of speaking to loved ones, no matter the vulnerability that comes with opening up. No. Don't. Nope. Look. Just a little bit of a tip here, Braden Smith. So, what you do, you take all that stress, all that emotions and stuff, and all the things that you want to say that you can't say, and you pack it into a little ball, and then you press it down. You press it down real hard. You press it real hard for a long time, and you hold it. And you hold it. Now, the trick is while you're holding it down there, you got to keep taking more and making more balls. And packing it down. Really stuffing it in there. Holding it down. You're going to have to use your back a lot, so expect a lot of back pain from forcing it all in there. And eventually, by holding it in and forcing it down long enough, you'll die. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. All these things I've done in my head, it was very uncomfortable. And the things I always worried about, like, what if someone confirms my fears for me or I get the wrong response? It's not something you want to talk to just anyone about. Go to a loved one you trust and open up about it and probably have more clarity than you at the time. And maybe they'll be able to get, able to see for what it is. In my case, my wife was the one that was getting me help. Good for her. I was ashamed to get help. I don't blame you there. I was ashamed to open up. Yep, as most men should be and probably are. I was going crazy. My head wasn't in a good space. So I think really leaning on a loved one was really helpful. Good for you. It does seem taboo, but at the same time, if you don't talk about it, you don't get anything out of it and nothing can happen. Yeah, so you should be able to talk to your spouse, but I don't know, man. Look, dude, we all have questions. We all have things that we wrestle with. I think I'm duped on reading this article because it baited me in with the psychedelics thing, and psychedelics do help. But honestly, you should maybe just spend some time with your own thoughts. Maybe just kind of try and process stuff. Maybe not fucking hold yourself to such an impossibly high standard. I should take my own advice there. And I don't know, man. Dude, just maybe nut up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just nut up. Be a fucking grown man, dude. Jesus, jumping up and down. All right. Sorry about that, fellas. Let's check out the chat going on over here. 7 votes. Still 71% say proud American. 7 fist bumps for USA. 29% say AOC has a MAGA-sized chest. Let's go. All right. Smash the like button for all the... We all are dust in the wind. Yes, Sam Strong. Aren't you? All we are is just dust in the wind. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of us really matter. Microdosing is getting popular here in Florida, as it should, dude. It works really well. I mean, I finally good for you, Chase, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I still smoke, but not nearly as much as I once did. It got to be not a problem, but I just started saving more money and not just smoking for smoking's sake. You know what I'm saying? Champions in the wind this year. Hell yeah. I smoked crack once a couple of times. I smoked crack. Extra big garden in the backyard. Yes, dude. Now you're getting it. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and finish strong. We got a couple minutes here before the end of the week. Man, I'm hot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sweating my ass off up here. Yeah, it's just cool enough outside that because I'm so cheap on the air conditioning that they're maintaining the right temperature. But you know, it's just a little not as cold as I'd like it to be. I wish I could run my air conditioner at like 60 degrees all summer long. I like to be shocked when I walk inside from the outdoors. I like to be hit with that cold. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But, you know, until I find that Scrooge McDuck-sized bag of money and gold coins somewhere, that's not going to happen. So, especially up here on the second floor of Grandma's Studio 1, they're getting a little sweaty. So we're going to quickly read through this article and get things moving on. We're going to keep it local here. Finish the week talking about your Detroit Lions. 2 veteran free agents the Lions should consider signing. Could the Lions add 1 or 2 available high-profile free agents? Coming to us from Christian Buer. And this is one name on here we've seen before. One name on here I'm a little surprised about, to be honest with you. The Detroit Lions could still be looking for veteran impact players to add to their roster prior to the start of training camp. As a whole, the team brings back plenty of offensive firepower from last season that led the NFL in scoring. Defensively, a host of players are expected to return to health after injuries decimated the group last year. Don't we know that? However, GM Brad Holmes could still seek out veteran help. There are multiple intriguing options, including a pair of experienced talents who could help elevate the offense. Here are two players the Lions should consider adding to the roster ahead of the start of training camp. Number 1, wide receiver Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, a wide receiver. Because we don't have enough of those. We don't have enough pass catchers. We didn't draft 2 wide receivers. We didn't re-sign Fireball Tim Patrick. And we're not expecting JMO to have a monstrous year this year. So let's go ahead and sign another pass catcher in veteran, 100-year-old Keenan Allen. Allen spent last season in the NFC North playing for the Chicago Bears after being traded from the Los Angeles Chargers. He recorded 70 catches for 700 yards, working with rookie quarterback Caleb Diaper Williams, but was released prior to the start of free agency. Now Allen could be a player the Lions look to as a secondary veteran option in the passing attack that features young talents such as Amon-Ra St. Brown and Waymo Jamison Williams. Allen could slot in the third wide receiver, or at the very least compete for a spot with Fireball Tim Patrick and Khalif Raymond. I always forget about Leaf, mostly because I think he's going to be just pretty much tucked away as a punt returner. I mean, with all the already on roster pass catchers, with what we expect to be a good rookie season out of Tesla, with the slow simmerings of hype around Lovett, you know what I mean? There are just a lot of guys already in camp, and short of injuries, I don't think that a wide receiver is going to help the organization. I did see an article pop the other day just about how TK85 is probably done with his time in Detroit. Now, welcome to the UFL Michigan Panthers, Tom Kennedy. That would be awesome. But Keenan Allen, I think this is just I'm going to be honest, I think this is just a little bit of fluff here, Christian Boer. 2 seasons ago, in his final year with the Chargers, Allen had 108 catches for 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns. When healthy, Allen has been one of the best of his era. He may not be the explosive threat that he was in his prime, but his production last year showed that he still has plenty left to offer as a secondary option. And that is true. And then here's the name that we've talked about before. We talked about this before the draft. I think his name should continue to be brought up just merely as a presence, as a security option. We do know that guys like Sorsdahl are not going to be on the active roster come the start of the regular season, which leaves us with a big drop-off in veteran leadership along the interior offensive line, something that Brendan Sheriff could easily remedy. I thought we might go after him just to replace Zeitler right off of the rip, but maybe Brad Holmes knows something that we don't know. The position where the Lions have been hit hardest this season has been the interior offensive line. Guard Kevin Zeitler left for the Tennessee Titans, and center Frank the Tank Ragnow retired to leave the team without 2 of their 3 starters on the offensive interior from last season. Enter Sheriff, a 5-time Pro Bowler and 2020 first-team All-Pro who remains available at the stage of the offseason. He's been one of the most durable offensive linemen in recent years with 3 straight full seasons played. While Sheriff hasn't been named to a Pro Bowl since 2021, he has been steady over the last several seasons. He's also been scheme versatile, having played for 2 different organizations. The Lions do have an experienced replacement for Ragnow in the form of Graham Glasgow, but that could likely result in both starting guards having 1 year or less of NFL experience. As a result, it would be an asset to bring in an experienced player, especially one who has played at a high level for a decade, like Sheriff. The one thing I would say about that, and the reason that I don't think we've made these moves, is Brad Holmes. If Brad Holmes feels confident, who am I to question the moves of Brad Holmes? So I get where the headspace is at on both of these moves. Personally, I would put Sheriff over Allen in terms of probability. Maybe not name, but position. We did bring in free agents to compete. Sheriff probably wants a little bit more money. And again, we are maintaining money moves for future re-signings of players. Gibbs, Laporta, JMO, Action Jack Campbell, Brian Branch. All these guys are going to need big money deals, you know. And for that to happen, we can't just kind of be frivolously spending money, especially on a guy kind of like a Brendan Sheriff, right? So say you bring in old Brendan Sheriff, right? And you bring him on. He thinks he's got 2 years left in him. He goes and he plays 1 year, and then he retires at the end of next year. Then you got a little bit of dead money that you still got to shell out. It's going to hit the cap. It's going to hinder the cap. It's going to slightly hinder the money moves you can make when offering contracts. And, theoretically, it doesn't sound like much if you still have to clear, a 2.5 mil in dead cap space for a retired player. However, if it came down to assholes and elbows and Brian Branch, I'm just using that name as an example, you could maybe he wants to go someplace else because they're offering him $2.5 million more. You know what I'm saying? And if it really comes down to that, is it worth it having the veteran blanket second string guy like a Sheriff or a Keenan Allen being paid money and not being even in the league versus being able to get your guys that you've gone after and have been a focal point of our offense or defense early on in their career, and you can continue to build on. I think that is the wiser of the two options. Building for the future, maintaining for the future. We're past the building for the future now. The future is now. We are no longer a rebuilding franchise. We are a flagship franchise in the NFL. And to maintain where we're at, we have to maintain both coaches and players and money. There's a lot of moves being made. A lot of machinery all has to operate with one another all at the same time. And Brad Holmes has to do the best that he can do. And in order to do that, he can't just be frivolous with money. Luckily, Brad Holmes knows this. That's why we see him draft so well. That's why we see such an emphasis on young players being brought in. That's why we're able to re-sign guys like Jared Goff, because we had high talented players on rookie scale contracts. It allows for more flexibility. The players that we do go after, we don't overpay for, at least in my opinion. DJ Reed, DJ Reader, both not overpaid players for what we're able to get for him, especially with Reader being a relatively team-friendly deal considering what we're getting out of him. And there was even consideration of moving on from him and cutting him before the start of free agency. I'm glad we didn't do that because of Lee McNeil's knee. This allows the development of a Tyreek Williams to be better, more beneficial and sustained instead of such an up-and-down rookie campaign. Brad Holmes, though, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face or until he starts to fuck up. Brad Holmes, any moves he makes or doesn't make is the right decision, because until proven otherwise, who am I to question what Brad Holmes does? You know what I'm saying? Yes, Keenan Allen is absolutely ridiculous. It's pretty new because it's legal everywhere. It's starting to pop up. Basically sends your brain into feedback loop of keep throwing up. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Chase. You are right, dude. You're right. Production, the Lions will sign a vet after the cuts this season, or prediction. Probably because there will be guys who aren't meeting the standard, and there will be guys that Brad Holmes maybe has had his eye on that hit the waiver wire that we're able to go out and grab. Though I do think that the majority of guys that we're going to see competing, we know who's going to be, where they're going to be, and what they're going to be. I think the most of the competition in camp and in preseason will be to see who's going to be those cusp guys that make the practice squad, who are going to be those guys that can maybe beat out veteran, you know what I'm saying? And those positions are very, very limited. Very, very, very limited. You're looking at offensive line and defensive line, more or less. There's going to be some linebackers moves that are going to have to be made. All that's kind of dependent upon the Alex Anzalone situation. But as far as your secondary, your wide receiver should be set. That's why I'm not too wild about this Keenan Allen idea. The tight end room is obviously overcrowded. We got running backs up the wazoo that can carry it, though I would like to see maybe another guy come in and kind of compete with Craig Reynolds. And, what, is someone really going to come and fucking unseat Jack Fox or Jake Bates? Yeah, highly unlikely, my guys. I'm with you guys. I'm with both Kerry and Brent. The question is who and at what spot. Sheriff still hasn't signed with anyone yet. Nope, Brent, Sheriff's still a free agent, which Kind of makes me think maybe he's leaning more into maybe doing that Ndamukong Suh thing where he's still got enough in the tank that he can wait and chase a ring mid-season. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind him joining the Lions. I wouldn't either unless it's going to inhibit the money moves that the organization can make in the future. And yeah, Sam, exactly. We got to let old Brad Holmes cook. Brad Holmes knows exactly what Brad Holmes is doing, and it's worked out so far. So we added up with 7 votes down in the poll. 1 like equals 1 fist pump for USA. So we got 7 fist pumps today for the USA. Let's go. Proud Americans. 71% of you voted on that. 0% of you said you'd like to self-deport. That's my kind of audience. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are good folk. And then 29% of you say AOC has a MAGA-sized chest. And that she does. So we're going to go ahead and end this poll. Appreciate everybody who participated. Appreciate everybody who tuned in this week. It's been a fun week, kind of up and down, a little bit weird at times, simply because there's not a lot of stories to go on. So we just kind of end up tuning in, hanging out, chewing the fat a little bit. And let's be real, it's filler. This is the filler arc in between seasons. But the new season's about to drop here. The Lions are poised to be an absolute. Damn it! I had a really funny joke lined up, but I couldn't think of it. Who is the manga production that does DBZ, Bleach, the cliche of the powering up character? Oh, fuck. Shonen. Shonen. The Lions are about to have themselves a shonen-type season this year once we start this season of the Detroit Lions. I can't wait. Shonen Jump. Yes, Chase, exactly, my guy, exactly. Shonen Jump. Yep, we're about to have ourselves a Shonen Jump. Aiden Hutchinson's about to go full Super Saiyan. Jared Goff's about to pull his hollow mask down. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go full-on Luffy. Gum fruit his way right to potential offensive MVP. It's okay. I say autocorrect messed that up. It's all good, dude. I knew what you meant. Dude. It took me a minute to think of Shonen Jump, but we got there. Yeah, hell yeah, we got there. All right, guys. Look, I appreciate all you tuning in this week, sharing it around, doing what you do, engaging in the chat. You guys are really starting to rock and roll. I really appreciate it, you guys. We got ourselves a good little community going here. We are steaming towards 700 subscribers, guys. We are going to be getting there, and maybe we might start to consider. What do you guys think about us multi-streaming? Not just look. I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna start streaming to Rumble at the same time. But I was also what about Twitch? What if I started streaming to Twitch as well? Because I don't really do videos so much anymore. It's pretty much just live streams. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of thinking, why not kind of get things out. Getting closer to watch Hutch bury Love Dove into the tundra. Dude, I can't wait to watch Aiden Hutchinson just massacre the NFC. I don't know what I'm more excited for, to watch Aiden Hutchinson just bury Jordan Love or watch Aiden Hutchinson just make Ben Johnson look like the dumbest motherfucker in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? If I go to Twitch, you got me? I appreciate that, Chase. I don't know anything about Twitch, dude. I don't know anything about Twitch. I just know that it's another streaming platform and a way to kind of just get more eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, it would be nice that if eventually I could just do this 5 days a week as like my full-time job instead of going to work. You know what I mean? So we got to kind of figure out ways to grow, especially since I don't know how to network. So, all right, fellas, appreciate everybody this week. Have yourself a good weekend. Stay dry. All right, we got some heat waves and storms. It's a wild weather summer so far. Check out Max Velocity, MAX Velocity. It's like his name, like Max's name, Velocity, on YouTube. That guy's got some absolute banging content as far as weather is concerned. So have yourself a good week. I stay out of trouble. We'll catch you guys bright and early Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here at youtube.com/The Hat and Beard Show. And, yeah, stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Until then, bonga bonga.